beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight was. Woo! So yes, I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight was, and what a wonderful day today. Great day to fly kites. So it is a great day to fly a kite, and yeah, not yesterday, that was a rainy day, but today's a great day to fly a kite. Do you have one? Starlight loves doing that. So anyway, I love you so much, and I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight was, and I will be, because yeah. So anyway, I love you so much, and thank you to all of you who are here loving and supporting Starlight. And it's no accidents, because in this reality, in this universe, there's no accidents or coincidences. So you are here for a reason, and I love you so much. And thank you to all of you who have been here loving and supporting Starlight, watching videos, giving me thumbs up, leaving me a comment, or sharing my videos. And don't forget the notification bell like Starlight does. So I love you, and thank you for loving and supporting Starlight, and thank you for the beautiful messages and giving me thumbs up. Plus, anyone that would love to send any love donations, you can through my Cash App, and I will have that information here. Ping! And thank you for the people that has helped me on this journey, on this mission with God. So I appreciate all of you. I do. I appreciate all of you. And you know what? When you are blessing other people, God blesses those who are letting go of fear, and they listen to the inner voice inside when God puts it on your heart and mind to be a blessing to others. So anyway, thank you for any of you that did help Starlight out, because I'm out here serving God. I'm helping people. So anyway, I love you so much. And before I start this new video, new topic, now this is going to be strange. Of course, with Starlight, you got to be prepared for anything, because I am not normal. I don't want to be normal. I don't want to be a clone. I don't want to be like anybody but myself. I know I lost somebody. I lost some of you. Where are you going? So anyway, I lost some of you. You don't have to leave. So anyway, because a lot of people, they have a hard time being themselves and accepting who they really are and loving themselves. That's why I lost some of you out here. So anyway, today's video is about, I gotta think of this title now. I'm going to do this different. Symbols, numbers, and animals. What? Symbols, numbers, and animals. So yes, this is so vitally important, in this reality, like scientists, this is really what this whole, the stimulation, this matrix is like. And there's some people I lost a long time ago, they don't really care for Starlight's matrix videos or stimulation videos, but that's because they have not woken up yet. They could be still sleeping today. Even if the alarm goes off, they could be still sleeping. And there's people out there that are still sleeping, but there's a whole lot of people that are waking up to this reality, and the lies in this reality here. So symbols, numbers, and and animals. So what this is about is, you got to really, like scientists, is, I got to figure out something that I can put on this picture on my video, so you can kind of, just like scientists, okay, like when they study animals, So that's why part of it is animals. And, man created this stuff, but we do go by these things, even though time is an illusion, even though, really, the new year didn't happen until like March 20th, but we really, because they created this, they lied to us, is to put, January 1st to be the first part of the new year. And my mentor taught me, Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart, taught me how the calendar, the calendar that we go by is not the calendar, they made time, they made this, they created this, the time, which is an illusion. And I know some of you get that because, there's times that you can get more done in a day, and then other times the day just like, where did it go? Where did it go? So, yes, time is an illusion, but like scientists, like an animal, let me think what kind of animal. We're going to say a fly, because they're disgusting. I don't like flies. How many of you like flies? Well, I don't think I don't know, maybe there's one person out here that loves flies. But you know what? They are super cool when you zoom them in, and what scientists found is, and I gotta do the research on this myself, is that they have, they might looks like they have, it is interesting. Animals are really cool to study. You can learn a lot, and the reason I don't like flies is because I believe they're little demons, they're little, evil spirits or something, because what else likes, shit, and I have to say, if there's shit around, those flies, they they are right there. They don't mess around, and they're really dirty, like as far as like, a bug goes, So that's why, and I had a lot of stories about a fly, flies, like different things that I've experienced in my life is why I don't like flies. So you don't want to be a fly around Starlight. My brother that's no longer here, he was like, my sister, she wouldn't even hurt a fly. And I'm like, you don't know me that well, do you, brother? So I gotta laugh because that part he didn't know how, like, if there was a fly in my apartment, whooshing, Starlight's out there. I don't care if I got clothes on or clothes off, that fly is mine. It's out of the house, So anyway, I love you, and this video is about like scientists, like a fly, we could just look at a fly and like, yeah, that's just a fly. But when we, like a mic, let me see, like a magnifying glass, or like scientific, well, let me see, a scope. I'm trying to think because my kids borrowed a scope before for a project at home for homeschooling. Somebody let us borrow their scope for school. And so I'll tell you what, we had fun with that. I was trying to find anything to stick under that little scope there, and I'm trying to think of the name because there's all these different kind of names for microscope. I think that's what it's called. And so I was learning that they had all these different, just like a camera, where they have different numbers for how far, like how much do you want to zoom things in. So I didn't know, or zoom things out, like a camera, zoom, so then you're gonna really get close to it. Or, if you want to, I know that's a pyramid. So even like, binoculars, you can, I used to have a pair of those, sometimes it would be blurry, and then you had to kind of turn the wheel, not wheel, but the adjustments on your mic, your binoculars. I am so high. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs, but I am high on life. Binoculars, like you'd have to turn the little the adjustments, so then you can get things in focus. And now, there's Starlight, there's Starlight, first blurry, and there's Starlight. Just like also, I gotta get all these names, even, glasses, where I have reading glasses. It's kind of funny. If I only knew, all I had to do is go to a Dollar Tree and get glasses. I wouldn't even have, like, what is it, $4 for, and that's all I really needed, to be able to see the, I don't know, let me see, the little fine print, just like, I can't really see that. I can't see nothing on the back of that, but if I put glasses on, boom, oh, that's what it says. That's the ingredients to this. This is kick-ass stuff. But anyway, so yes, so scientists, they use a microscope, I believe that's what it's called, to put little things under there like a bug. Oh, it's so cool doing that stuff, is to, hey, we're going to put this. They got different things out there that they use, where you can zoom in and really get to really, it's like it's really cool. Science is like that way. I didn't learn a lot about science, but it was really super cool learning to use a microscope. Starlight, believe me, you don't want to know what Starlight was sticking under, the microscope. Actually, I did poke some blood and put my own blood under there. I wanted to see my blood under there, and they had a whole bunch of little lab strips. I don't know what they call them, but it's already the plastic where they already have, it could be moss, dry moss into a little slide, that you would stick under the microscope and see what that looks like. A little piece of, like a piece of my hair. Have you ever seen hair under a microscope? It looks so freaking cool. It does. I mean, like, wow. I'll tell you what, I think I was high and I wasn't doing drugs those days, I was like, I was addicted to this thing. I was like, what else can we find to stick on? So Starlight did use her imagination on what can I stick under, I'm not gonna, it's embarrassing if I told you, but other people probably would have done the same thing. Hey, I wonder what this looks like under there. What's, but that's what you got to really look at this reality like is, a lot of times we're just seeing things, like when you're driving down the street, somewhere in a city, just you're trying to get from point A to point B. And you're like, yeah, that's a gas station. That's, a hairstyling place. That's a grocery store. Oh, there's a dog going down the street, something might have flew by. So this is about, like the symbols, numbers, and animals is just like a dream is, when you do a dream study, I've been helping people out in this area, helping them how you can hear from God or the universe is through these things, through symbols, numbers, and animals. So I'm trying to see, all kinds of stuff, like just even like with this hairbrush, this is a new hairbrush because I never found my brush. I must have left it in a bathroom somewhere and I needed a new one. It's kind of funny because I was thinking I need a new hairbrush, and before you knew it, I lost my hairbrush and I was forced to actually go buy a new one. So like a hairbrush, like in a dream, like if you have a dream, it's like, what does it mean when you see a hairbrush? Well, what color hairbrush was it? I got different things here that I can use for this as an example is, what does it mean when you see a black key? We're going to say these are like symbols, if I had my cards that I have in my car, that would have been great to do. Even like, what does it mean? Like pictures, all kinds of things is, what kind of car do you have? You can learn so much about your car. What does it mean, in a dream, to see a red car? What does the red car, mean? But man created all this, and we go by this, and so the universe uses, I'm trying to look for other. Now my YouTube channel is Starlight. Well, what color star do I use for my my YouTube channel, and how many points on that star do I use every single time? I use the big fat yellow star, 5-pointed yellow star. Like a lot of people, you get 5 stars, and what color is those stars? Yellow. Now, what does it mean when you see a 5-pointed yellow star? So everywhere you go, you're seeing all this information and around, but we don't really take the time to figure out what it is. Like when you meet somebody, you can actually learn a lot about that person by what they're wearing. Like I'm wearing a pretty pink top with this, it's got beads on here, but you really like science, like sticking something under a microscope, and zooming it in and really understanding even a deeper level, like even a ring, like I find rings a lot. I just found a ring the other day and I just kind of, but this one, the universe gave me this because I wanted a ring. It was a sign to let people know that, hey, I'm taken. So this is, so what does it mean, when you see a ring, not too long ago, I went to a bathroom and I found somebody's earring, which really, when I found it, it was just one piece of her earring, whoever lost the earring. And I looked at it, I'm like, is this a diamond? Shine bright like a diamond. It was not a diamond. But you know what? I did bring it, have it to get returned to the lost and found place, Never know. Somebody might want their earring back because it sucks when you lose an earring and then now you only got one. So, but what does it mean when you find, oh my, I just remembered a dream. So I did have a dream about pennies. I was finding pennies in a dream. What does it mean when you find pennies? How about outside? I pick up money all the time. Some of you just ignore, act like, hey, I got so much money. I ain't got time to bend over for a penny. But, what does it mean when you find a penny on the sidewalk? What does it mean when you find a quarter on the sidewalk? What does it mean when you find $5? What does it mean when you find $20? What does it mean when somebody gives you money? How much did they give you? So we got to tear everything apart. And so symbols, like even the yin and yang symbol, I love that thing. I used to have a beautiful, like a hippie jacket, somebody handmade those kind of material jackets, but it was a white jacket, bought it brand new, and it had a big ass yin yang on the front on the back of it. And I love that thing. And so what does it mean when wherever you are, you can find out. It's like information all over the place, so it's not like you're going to go around like, I'm in the library. What does it mean when you see a library in a dream mean? What does it mean like when you go to a park? What does it mean when you see a park in the dream mean? So it sounds crazy that I'm saying in the dream mean because there's so much information on that. Like you go to a park. You want to sit down. What are you going to sit down on? What is it? What is it that you're sitting down on? A bench? Or is it a picnic table? What does it mean when you see a picnic table? What does it mean? You saw a dog. What kind of dog was it? What does it mean? So animals. Numbers. Now numbers, we see them all the time. What else at the park? I'm just going to play with animals for a little bit. I'm looking around and I'm in a library, so I'm like, there's not a whole lot. Well, there's a fish out here because it's a beach. So what does it mean when you see a fish? What kind of fish is it? What does it mean when you see a man catching a fish? What does it mean when I'm going really fast because there's so many different things and I'm really helping you out. Like when you're around somewhere, when you want to really know something about somebody, you can look at what they're wearing, like in a dream is, all kinds of goodies in a dream. But symbols is one of the ways that God speaks to us in so many different ways. And animals is the other way, is you go to a park and you see a bird. What kind of bird is it? Like the other day I saw, now what does it mean? I was like, wow, I have never seen this before. It was really cool. And I seen these bird lovers out there. They had binoculars, and they had a big ass camera, a special camera, and they were out on a hiking place where I was. And what animals did I see when I was there? I saw a tortoise. Now, what sad thing is, the tortoise went outside the fence, and I was going to rescue it, but then I found out, which I'm going to make a video on that topic another time, is I didn't know that it's against the law to even pick them up because they're endangered species. But it went across the fence and it was going out to the road. So anyway, but what does it mean when you see a tortoise? What does it mean when I was at the hiking trail and I was leaving the place, that's when I seen the tortoise escaping the gate. They are super smart. They are super smart. Turtles are really, they are not that slow. They are not that slow. Just a little quick story. My family, when my kids were little, we found turtles, and we would have it in our backyard, and we try to fence, like have it in a space, so my kids can kind of enjoy that little turtle. We didn't know any better those days. Starlight is always capturing animals and being kind to them and feeding them. But they escaped. They are escaped artists, I'm amazed. I mean, we're like, that turtle's never going to get out of there. I mean, we had like these big plants that was around in this whole area, and it had like a little wall around the plants, and the next morning we went outside, and like, where did that turtle somehow or another climbed over those plants, got out, and escaped. So they are escaped artists. So, but now back to my story with the other birds and all that. When I went out to a hiking trail, when I saw the tortoise, is I saw a blue jay and a red cardinal, and they were really super close to each other. Well, what does it mean when you see a red cardinal and a blue jay together? What does it mean? So yes, animals have meanings, and you can get information from the universe letting you know things that you need, that it could tell you, hey, you're doing great, all kinds of information, all kinds of little goodies, gems and jewels out there of information. And numbers have meaning. There's a lot of times we see numbers that repeat themselves, but we never think anything of it. We overlook a lot of things because the way this stimulation is, this this matrix is that, we're into too much of a hurry. Oh, we got to go over that way. Oh, now we're over that way. A lot of times people don't even have time to spend alone with themselves because they're always running somewhere. Oh, I got to go here. Oh, got to go there. Got to go to work. Got to go back home. Got to do this. Got to do that, And so how can you really focus on anything? That's why we need to slow down. You need to slow down and smell those roses. What does it mean? What does it mean when you see roses? What kind of roses are they? So, numbers. Like, what number have I been seeing a lot lately? 888. What does number 888 mean? Maybe you're seeing the 888. Certainly I see 888 everywhere. I mean, when I go in the bathroom, there's, it's about sex trafficking, and about people that go through that, and they let they put like a flyer in the bathroom stall, to let women, and more than likely, I'm not going to go in the men's room to see if they got those same flyers in there, but more than likely they do, because it doesn't just happen to women, it happens to men too, so those flyers have the telephone number with 888 on there, 888, it repeats itself, and so 888 I've been seeing a lot, and today I seen, I was asking the universe for help, and, a taxi pulled up at the gas station, and 777, 77777. What does it mean when you see 777 mean? What does the 777 mean? Most of you already know, hey, 777 is a great number, for people that gamble, when they do the slots, and we want to get those 3 sevens together, right? I know I would be good at those things, but Starlight doesn't. I'm not a person to do that stuff. And so other numbers is, I just talked to a guy the other night. He said he's been seeing 1111 everywhere. I'm like, that's a good number, so there's information, and it will really help and guide you as far as, in your life. You could be going through stuff. There could be somebody that you don't know that is, causing problems in your life, and they're doing it in the background, and you don't know about it. So that's why it's important to pay attention to different things that stand out. And like numbers, 1111, 10, like today I saw 1010. Today I saw 222. What does it mean when you see 222? And it doesn't have to be these, numbers, like a number repeating itself 3 times like that, like, or even like 1212. Let's see. 555, that's, when you see 5s, a lot of times it's about change. It's going to be coming, there's going to be something that things are going to kind of shift, on you, that they're, expect some change. And it doesn't mean that it's a bad change. It could be something good, but it's just kind of preparing you as to, hey, there's things going to be coming up, be prepared. Oh, okay. And like 444, there's some people that say, hey, all is well. That's how I knew when I got my vehicle from the universe, from God, is when I was test driving it. a number appeared onto the time in the vehicle before I was test driving it, or when I got done test driving it. A number popped up, 444. I was like, oh, that's a confirmation from the universe. That's a confirmation. So other numbers that we see and we're not really thinking about it, and I've seen this a lot, so this is a number I have to relook up, is 724. We're open 724. We're open 724, or 24, 24, 24, 24, 24. We're open 24 hours, or 800. Don't you see 800 a lot everywhere? Maybe in your area where you live, you might see billboards of the 51, where I came from, the area code would have been 518, 518, 518, so repeated numbers are a number that stands out. There was a young man that was in this library and he had a number. What was the number, Starlight? The number was 7. And then it's kind of funny. He went into the bathroom, changed his clothes as I was here, and he comes out and he put on I'm not kidding you, put on a different shirt and it said 8. So it's so funny. I'm like, I see these things. So numbers really stand out to me. I'm always, numbers, when you go somewhere, it's no accident that you went there. Even if you took a wrong turn, it's it's like this already has been played out. We're in a movie, we're in the middle of the movie. It's like Starlight has recently watched movies, but kind of like you're watching a movie and Starlight doesn't like to miss anything when I watch a movie, anything. If I'm watching something, I'm going to put it on pause, I'm going to go to the bathroom, go back to it, because I don't want to miss anything. So it's kind of like, you're in the middle of your own movie, your own story, your own, whatever has gone on in the past, and everything has already been laid out. And that's why it's so amazing how there's, so if you went down the wrong road, it's going to take you to the right path. You were meant to go. There's a reason. Nothing happens by accidents, and there's no coincidences. So really pay attention to the numbers, animals. Next time you see an animal, what does it mean when you see a ladybug? What do you see? So, but there are some of these things out there, what does it mean when you see a black cat? Well, what was the black cat doing? The black cat was crossing the road. Was it in front of you? Yeah, it was crossing the road right in front of me as I was driving, and I didn't hit it though. Well, that's good. So it could be good luck coming your way, or abundance, like number 7, 888, abundance, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen right away. It means that you got to be patient and just keep trusting and believing. When you doubt, that's when everything falls apart. You got to believe, it's going to give you numbers. I could get numbers and it's going to say, Starlight, what you're doing right now is good. Keep doing what you're doing. We're really proud of you. I got people cheering me on, angels cheering me on and saying, Starlight, you're doing amazing. Just keep doing just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. And there's other times it might give me a message that I need to be more patient, all kinds of different things. If you want to know something, ask, ask the universe, ask God, and believe that you're going to get that answer. It might not be when you think you're going to get that answer, but you will get that answer, not in a way that you would ever think. So anyway, I hope you really had fun with this video. So symbols, numbers, and animals. So you got to really slow down and pay attention more, pay attention, even like your favorite football team, like what kind of animal, or, how about when your kids go to school, what kind of animal do they have? I've seen cougars, when I went to school, it was Indians, for our thing for school. So really slow down, take some time out, really, take a look around and look at the world a whole new way by saying, wow, this goes deep, And anyway, I love you so much. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace. Thank you for watching. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.